Hello there everyone. Today I've come out to Silverley Church ruins in Suffolk, which you can see behind me there. I'm actually filming another video at the moment. I came out to do my how to become a ghost hunter video, hence the tripod. But I thought while I was here I'll give you a little look around the church and a little tour. Now I have investigated here a few times at night before, with mostly Jason Duke and a couple of other people. However, I've very rarely been here in the day. I think I did come here in the day once before, but it was in the middle of summer, so all the trees and bushes were grown up everywhere. But coming here in it's actually April, day after tomorrow I think, so coming here when the trees are slightly grown down, it seems a lot less isolated than it did before. The fact you can actually see the road just out there, and yeah, it just gives a whole different perspective to the place. Now all that remains of the church itself is the tower. There is no village anymore called Silverley. The closest village is Ashley and Chieveley are the two closest villages, but the village of Silverley doesn't exist. From what I understand, the village was wiped out during the plague, and anyone that did survive the plague basically moved into the other villages, and the Silverley just completely disappeared. The only thing remaining is this church tower, and even the tower, there's not an awful lot left of it. There's a little bit of masonry dotted about in some of the more overgrown areas, but the tower is the only bit that stands up, and you can see it from the road in the winter months, but during the summer it's completely hidden. Unless you knew it's here, you'd have no idea. Now there's not even any grave markers around here. Obviously if it was during the plague, we're going back a few hundred years, and even when you go into, you know, any other churchyard, medieval churchyards, the most recent headstones, the oldest headstones are probably from the early 1800s. You may get some from the 1700s. So when this place was wiped out, the big stone headstones weren't as common, and most people would have just a wooden post or a plaque or a wooden grave marker, which of course rots away. I think that's the main reason there's probably no grave markers around here. Any stone ones have obviously long gone. Or they may have been taken for use elsewhere, who knows. So it is literally just the church tower. Now I have heard some stories about this place being haunted. The most well-known thing to happen here is people apparently see lights floating about by the ruins through the trees. Now there's a house over there, there's a road that goes past, so I'm assuming it's people driving by, or people that have come out for a walk maybe, that have seen the lights around the area. Because, like I mentioned, it's very hidden away. There are, however, lights through the trees, and I do wonder if maybe some of these sightings of lights floating about could be explained by headlights from cars or lights from the houses. Potentially, I don't know. But that seems to be the only real report of a haunting or anything paranormal going on here. On the few investigations I've done, I'll have to say it's for the most part been fairly quiet. There's been a few things happen. There's been a few sightings of sort of shadowy figures here. I think footsteps we've heard before. A few things, but nothing really concrete. I think if whatever is going on here, if there is anything at all, I think it's very subtle, very peaceful. I've never felt really particularly threatened here or anything. It's a very peaceful place, and I don't think if there is anything here that's got intelligence, I don't think it really cares for the living. It sort of just leaves you be. You may recognise this place from a video myself and James did probably about a year ago, maybe, yeah, just about over a year ago. We took a quick visit here, and you may remember the infamous Silverley hole, which actually goes up to, I don't know why I'm showing you in here because you won't be able to see anything, but it actually goes all the way up to the top of the tower. There's actually half a staircase in there, and you can actually get to the top of the church. I'll actually show you where it comes out. I'm not going to climb it today because I'm on my own, and if I do fall and hurt myself, then I've got no one to pick up my pieces. Yeah, if you climb it, it actually come out up there. Yeah, no, it's I do like it here. It's a very calm place. I do enjoy it. Now I was planning on doing a little bit of a investigation around here during the day, problem is that the road is fairly busy. Usually during the night you see a couple of cars go by there, but during the day the road's incredibly busy. So any kind of work with EVP won't be possible because you'll get noise pollution from the road. Even stuff with regards to EMF. Cars have so many electronics on them that they could affect electromagnetic fields. So, and I've got no way of validating anything. So I don't think I will do an investigation here, which is a shame, because I was hoping it might be, you know, an ideal place. But yeah, because the road's so busy, like I can't really do an awful lot, unfortunately. Hello again, everyone. I decided to actually come back to Silverley Church at night time and carry out a small investigation. Like I said, during the day it's near impossible. It's a very busy road during the day here that goes past. But at night it's fairly quiet. I've been sitting here for about 5 minutes setting up some equipment, and I've seen 2 cars go past. So it's a lot quieter. Should be able to carry out somewhat of a decent investigation. I'm completely on my own tonight, nobody with me, other than hopefully some spirits in there, but we'll soon see. Obviously got my night vision camera. I've got one that I will put on a tripod potentially, and I've also got my, I haven't put it on yet, but I've got my body cam, which I'll use as well. EMF detector. I've bought a REM pod, which I'll show you in a bit. That's a new piece of equipment for us. But yeah, I'm going to get in there. Hope I get something. So I've just got to the actual church itself. I've set up all the equipment I'm going to be using. I've got the static night vision camera over there, and I'll set up the REM pod, which is a new piece of equipment I mentioned. You'll see this in our new series when it's out later this year. So there it is, and what this will do, it creates an electromagnetic field around it. Anything breaks that field, which is around this aerial, which you'll see the lights will turn on, it will make an alarm. So yeah, there's no real reason that should be triggered tonight. So let's see if we can get an interaction through that. I mean, to be honest, I come out to places on my own fairly regularly now, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit on edge. There is certainly an aspect of fear coming out to places on your own, especially in the belief that ghosts exist. Like, obviously you don't know who you could be dealing with, and it is, you know, more comforting to have someone with you. But it's, yeah, doing this, you've got to learn to fight fear. You've got to learn to get your body to overcome it, and yeah, bit of a challenge sometimes, but it's doable. You obviously expect some animal sounds. I just heard some rustling over there. Could be a fox or maybe a muntjac deer. Is there anybody at this church tonight? I've been here a few times before. You may recognise me. My name's Luke. Just come to visit, really. See if there's anybody here. Is there anybody here with me tonight? Can you come over towards me, please? Holding a little device, a contraption in my hand. Do you think you could come over and touch that? Move around it, touch it, try and interact with it some way. Just to let me know you're here. Or any other sign you can give me. Probably saw me just using that cylindrical device there. You saw me move my hand close to it and it made a noise and the lights went on. Do you think you could do that? Could you come close to that red light? Just a mark on the camera there. I thought I heard a whispery sound over there. Don't know what it was. Certainly nothing related to that car going past. It's definitely just the other side of the REM pod. Is there somebody over there? Oh, nothing there. I'm going to go for a walk around the church. Find my torch. That's my pocket. Yeah, I usually stay in the dark when I'm investigating, just because I think, you know, it's the most natural environment. You know, you don't know how paranormal activity works. You don't know how they can see you and perceive you. But I think if it is dark, if you don't add much to the environment, it's as natural as it can be, really. But yeah, obviously for walking around somewhere like this, I do need my trusty torch. And it is freezing tonight. It's like 1 degree, so I don't know how long I'll be here. So you've got the hole. Again, I'm not going to be climbing in it. Is there anybody up the tower? Yeah, I mean, obviously this here is the church tower. I've just walked around now. You've got to think that all of this area here would have been inside the church. So technically now I'm inside the church, or where it would have been. There is obviously the stone tape theory that stone or other materials somehow record residue of past events and replay it, in which case probably, if that is, you know, if that theory does hold any weight, the church tower is probably the most likely place to have activity, because it's the most stone that's left, really. I mean, as I mentioned when I was here in the day, I think this place is, whether there is any awareness of the living here at all or not, I don't know. But yeah, they come to you here. You can't entice anyone out, I don't think. So what I might do is just sit still and quiet for a little while and just see if anything happens. Put the trifield just down there. Shall I stand it up? Yeah, trifield there, REM pod there, camera there. That's weird. I just heard church bells ringing. Put the trifield just down there. Shall I stand it up? Yeah, trifield there, REM pod there, camera there. That's weird. Something moving just then as well. Are you ringing the church bells here? That was weird. That didn't sound... That didn't sound like it was off in the distance. It sounded like it was... I wouldn't say it sounded like it was coming up from the tower by any means, but it certainly sounded like it was just in the air around me then. I'm hoping the cameras picked that up. Definite sound of church bells. But yeah, it didn't sound distant. It sounded like it was right here. We'll have to have a look on the map and see where the nearest church is. That was weird. So you don't need to fear me at all. I hope I'm not intruding on your space. But I'd like to make friendly, polite contact with anyone that's here. Did you used to live in the village of Silverley? I'm assuming one of these cameras must have picked up that bell ringing sound. That was very strange. It's not, the time's not on the hour or anything either, so it's I don't know why it would be ringing at this time, even if it was a church in the distance. I do keep hearing the very faint sound of what sounds like footsteps moving around. Probably too quiet for the camera to pick up, but I think it's just animals scurrying about, and like, I don't know, I think just the way that the sound is in this place, it can make it sound like footsteps. Don't know, just an observation, but it's like I hear the sound of what sounds like footsteps, and then I tune my ears in, and then I realise, oh, it's actually an animal scurrying about. So I just got all the equipment back in the car, ready to drive off. In all honesty, I'm not too sure what to make of that tonight. That was quite unexpected. I thought it'd be very quiet, which it was for the most part. First real thing was the sound of those church bells. I'll have a look and see where the nearest church is, but like I say, it wasn't on the hour, which is when most, if they've got even electronic systems that ring the bells automatically, it wasn't on the hour. They obviously aren't doing bell ringing at the moment because of COVID, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, I'm not too sure what that could have been. It sounded to me like it was around the church. Like, it didn't sound very far away. It didn't sound like the wind was carrying it or anything. So that was strange. Certainly one to return to in the future, but it's nice to come away with actually potentially having something recorded. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.